Happy Hump Day, everybody. Thanks for joining us here for Wake Up Charlotte to Go, a little pocket-sized newscast for you. I'm Ben Thompson.
And I'm Sarah French. Let's send it over to Larry Sprinkle for a check on your forecast. Hey there, Larry.
Good morning. We take a look at the Carolinas practice bubble. That's it right there. This is the camera, Carolinas practice bubble camera. Look out there in the southwestern skies. Only fair weather clouds out there. Fairly warm today, but these temperatures are really typical this time of the month, this time of the year. By 10 a.m., we're in the low 70s. Right in the middle of the afternoon, we should be in the low 80s. The average high this time of the year is 81 degrees. We only made it to the mid 70s yesterday. There we go. A couple days before that was in the 80s. Speaking of the 80s, we stay in the 80s until Friday and then the upcoming weekend. And next week, we get into the low and even mid 90s. Check that 7-day forecast. For today, 82. Mid 80s tomorrow. We'll hit about 88 on Friday, and then here comes the heat, and it's going to stay around not only over the upcoming weekend, dry weather, Monday and Tuesday mid 90s, and even beyond that. It does look like temperatures will stay in the 90s most of next week, and that's almost all. That's about 99.9% of your forecast.
All right, Larry, thanks. Turning now to a wrap of our top stories of the day right now. Right now, gas still in short supply in many gas stations in North Carolina, but we are seeing some progress. According to Gas Buddy, 44% of gas stations currently are out of fuel. That's down 7% from the same time yesterday. Gas prices, though, still really high. The average price here in Charlotte, $2.91. That's down 1 cent in the last 24 hours.
Hey, good morning. Yeah, lawmakers say that more pipelines need to make its way to North Carolina because there's only one main source of fuel coming to the Tar Heel State, and that is from the Colonial Pipeline. And guys, we saw last week just how difficult it was for people to get gas when that pipeline shut down. There's also just one source for natural gas, making the state vulnerable to outages. Lawmakers are concerned that future outages could create a big mess, like a big economic and possibly even public safety fallout.
Possible truce in the battle between CMS as well as county commissioners. County Chair George Dunlap says he wants to sit down with CMS administrative officials to talk to them about solutions to get that detailed plan out there on how the district wants to improve those 42 underperforming schools.
Right now, an urgent search continues in Chester County for a man accused of shooting at deputies. They say Tyler Terry is armed and dangerous. Officials say Terry opened fire during a chase with deputies in Richburg. The car he was in crashed along Highway 9 near Louisville High School, and he escaped. Today, all 3 schools in Louisville will operate on lockout status, which means all students and staff will stay inside all day. Law enforcement also asking nearby residents to keep their doors locked.
The CMS is offering a chance for students and their families to get vaccinated together. The district partnering with the county health department to host a free vaccine clinic at 7 schools this Saturday. You can see a list here on your screen. They're accepting both walk-ins and appointments for anybody 12 and older. Most of the clinics will run from 9 a.m. till 3 p.m. Time now to connect the dots when we make the news make sense. With more people getting vaccinated and some are quickly approaching, it's pretty clear that the one thing a lot of folks want to do right now is travel, right? But for many, the idea of getting on a crowded plane and staying in strange hotels is a little overwhelming after all we've been through.
A lot of us are ready to start traveling again, but flying to friendly skies may bring more stress than excitement. Let's connect the dots. Mental health professionals have a name for this: re-entry anxiety. They say it affects both vaccinated and unvaccinated people. So what can you do about it? First things first, if you have extreme anxiety, chat with your doctor. But if you're simply worried or feeling uneasy, experts recommend exposure therapy, easing back into situations. The key is to start slowly. If you're worried about restaurants in a strange city, try going to one in your hometown that you're comfortable with. If a long plane ride is the issue, try a shorter trip first. Or if you're worried about a big hotel with a crowded lobby, book an Airbnb. Experts also recommend accepting this new normal. Just acknowledging that most people are feeling the same way can bring you some comfort. And that is connecting the dots.
Now to some stories to keep your family safe and sound today. Teenagers can now try their hand at the stock market. Financial company Fidelity is launching an investing and savings account for 13 to 17-year-olds. It will let teenagers buy and sell stocks, ETFs, and mutual funds. The best part, there are no fees. The accounts are only available to teenagers with a parent who also has a Fidelity account.
Folks will go to any lengths to keep working from home. A new study found more than 60% of people would rather permanently work from home than get a $30,000 raise. Out of about 45 companies represented in the study, only 2 saw more employees choose the raise. Which would you pick? Let us know using the hashtag WakeUpCLT. I have a poll on Twitter as well. Overwhelmingly, people, at least on Twitter, say, show me the money.
Yeah, well, I just more so need to come into the office.
I need
a little
routine.
time away from those kids.
I completely understand. Of course, you could join us every single weekday morning, 4:30 a.m. for Wake Up Charlotte.
Have a great day, everybody.